Hi, Alex here from Rebeloper.com and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to this awesome tutorial series on AutoLayout with TinyConstraints and of course Swift 5. So without further ado, let's jump right into today's episode. Okay, today we are going to learn how to set the width and the height and maybe some aspect ratio to our views. So let's jump into our TinyConstraints.swift file. As you can see here we have our width and we have a CG float, relation, priority, is active, and we are going to of course omit this relation, priority and is active because those default values are okay. So let's jump right back into our view controller. And today I believe we are not going to need view 2. And yeah, as you can see here we have our center in super view. It is centering our view 1 into super view, and we already have this added here, but I will just type it again out. It's width, and you can choose this one or you can just simply go a little bit down and use this one with relation, priority, is active. Well, we are not going to use that one. We are going to use this with a CG float, and I will set this to 400 so we can see that. And the same goes for the height, of course. So let us just build and run and see that we have this width set to 400. And throughout this video tutorial series we have already set our width as a CG float, so that should not be a surprise for you. So let me set this back to 300 and let's center, or rather let's edge this or center in super view. I want to move this a little bit up so we can see the next one. So we are going to use an offset here. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go ahead and take a look at the previous videos where I talk about centering views in super view, or rather anchoring and setting all of the layout constraints. So 0, and I will have this as a -200. And everything else can be deleted. Let me build and run again. So let's let it be centered in super view. So there it is. Okay, of course this is an arbitrary value if you want to have this. So let me just show you what happens if I rotate the device. It doesn't really show, so this is not advisable to do, but in our case this is pretty okay. So what is up next in our TinyConstraints file? Well, it is width to a constrainable, and we have our dimensions, multiplier, offset, relation, and so on. So let's do that. So first of all we want to set our view 2's width, and we want to have this to constrainable, but I want to have this with all of the elements, okay? Because yeah, we can just constrain it to anything, but we'd rather yet explain all of the other properties. So constrainable is view 1. Dimensions, we are not going to talk about dimensions, that is okay. Now a multiplier. Okay, I will set this multiplier to 1 for now, and offset CG float. Let's see, float, there we go. Yeah, it's a CG float, so let's add in here, let's say 50. Relation, priority, and is active, we can do that. So that is our width. We still need to, let's just center this to our super view. So I will just copy and paste this so we can be much faster, and I will bump it down. So I believe we still need to add our height. Let me just double check and quickly run, because we don't have a height and this will not show up at all. That is correct. So one last thing we need to add in here is view2.height, and again let's add this to, let's say, 300. Okay. And now we should be ready and see that, one thing that I forgot is to add the view to our view, so to our super view. So let's build and run and see that basically we have this centered to our super view by an offset of y by 200, so we have this lower, and the height is 300. That is okay, it's the same as the blue one, and the width is the view one's width, and the multiplier is 1, so it's the same, plus an offset of 50. So let's have this back to 0, so we could omit all of these, but we should see the same width as the view one. There we go, it is the same. So let's play with the multiplier, so 0.5, and as you can see it's half. And let's do the same with the height too. So this would not be just 300. Okay, so as you can see, it's half and half, width and height, half and half. Great, so that is width to a constrainable. Okay, let's move further and see the next one. It is width to height of a constrainable, and that is pretty straightforward. Again, we are not constraining to the view one's width, we will constrain to the height, and I will set this to again 300, and let's type this again with to height of constrainable. And first of all, let's use this because I really want to have this multiplier, but for now let's have this to 1 and the offset is 0. Okay, so now we should have kind of the same, so with height is the same here, but what if the height here is let's say 300 and the width is only 100. Okay, so now the view 2's width should be the height of the view 1, so it should be 300. Let's see. So we should get the square here too. There we go, we have that square. Pretty self-explanatory. The multiplier, of course, should be, let's see, it could be 0.5, and now we should get half of the height, so 150. There we go, 150 and 300. So that is again how to use width to height. Let's move forward because next up is we have a width with a minimum value and a maximum value. So yeah, that is something that you could have when you are animating it. So for now, let me just type in here width and the minimum value, that is that. And let's add in here a minimum value of 100 and the maximum value of 300. And let's delete all of this because the defaults are pretty okay. So let's see what happens now. There we go. We get basically the minimum value for our width. Now, if we would animate this or move this around, then and this would be pushed around, it would be pushed till the maximum value specified here. Okay, let's move forward. And here we have our height. It is basically the same. Here we have our height for the minimum max value. And finally, today I'm going to use this aspect ratio. Now that is pretty straightforward. Let's see if we have this width. Let's say set the width to 100. Okay, and we don't want to set the height. Okay, so we want to set aspect ratio, and let's use this ratio relation priority is active, so we could have used the other one, so the simple one. Okay, and the aspect ratio, let's say a 1, because we want to have the width as the height the same as the width. So let's see. There we go, 100 by 100. Let's see here, 3. Okay, then we should have the height 300. And as you can see, the aspect ratio is set to 3, but because we are setting the aspect ratio according to the width, we are getting the third of its size. So let's change that, or maybe if we add in here 0.33, then we should get the desired effect, but I will change that to the height, according to the height. There we go. And let's see, I would add in here height, and that is 100, and then set the aspect ratio to be 3. So that is basically what we want to achieve here. There we go. The height is 100, and indeed the width is 300, 3 times the height. Okay, now that is it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, because you do want to get notified of next videos as they do come out. And as usual, I will see you in the next one.